Happy New Year, good people. Thank you for being here. My name is Gladys, and over here I make simple, informative tutorials to help you navigate cake decorating easily. And we're back again with a very simple cream topping for this sponge cake right here. Now, I'm sure at some point in time in the series of my simple classic bakes, I will be undertaking an in-depth tutorial for that. But this is a cream topping that I came across. In fact, I have made a batch of it. I made this yesterday. This is the sort of cream topping, fresh cream topping that I could literally dig myself. It is amazing. If I have to stick with this, my goals, my health goals for the new year is over, okay? But it's a variation of cream cheese, fresh cream sort of topping for a cake. I don't know what to call it exactly, but it's creme fraiche, cream cheese, fresh cream topping. So I will get to it. I don't particularly have a name right now for it, but I'll post a photo in my community post for you to see a cake that I make. Essentially, it's a very, very rustic cake. This is a 10-inch vanilla sponge, but my last cake for the new year, which was a lemon sponge that I baked, had this topping. It was, the intention for the cake was just to go for something that was flavorful, has a great mouthfeel, combines well with the cake without being too overwhelming and too sweet as well. So this is a great balance and almost kind of satisfies those goals, especially except my honorary niece. And I say honorary niece because she is a friend's daughter. She turns 19 today, and somehow I forgot all about it. And then I remembered and I thought this will be an amazing cake. It's a sort of rustic dessert style cake that makes a great accompaniment to a table setting if you're having dinner. The serving means that you can make the cake for a few number of servings without the complication of all the things that comes with cake making and decorating a cake. My goal for 2025 is to sort of focus and zero in on the simplicities of cake making and to bring you flavorful cakes that are easy to derive. So this is one of those. But if you want to see the lemon cake that I made, it's the immediate life before this one. And of course, this was the similar topping that I had. You'll see how I derive all of it together. It's not hard. I'm not going to be here for long because I'm going to go off and give the cake to this young lady. But if you're just in the chat, hello there, Sophie, hi, and there is it JR, hi there, and Mr. Hickin, hello. Is the bowl of vanilla ice cream? No, it's not vanilla ice cream. It's actually vanilla creme fraiche cream cheese topping for a cake. It is amazing. It does feel like ice cream, but because of the creme fraiche, it does have a sort of sour tinge to it, but it's not ice cream at all. I'm gonna have to put that in the fridge to cool. I could stick a spoon in here and finish this all together, but let me show you how I made this batch. All right, let's get to it. Oh, Mr. Hickin, well done. Congratulations and thank you. You seem like a lovely person. What would inspire you to raise money for homeless people? Well done. I'm only asking out of curiosity. I don't suppose it's a bad thing. Over here, I have myself simple Philadelphia cream cheese. Now, if you've been so unlucky to try Philadelphia cream cheese, you will know it is very mild tasting, very creamy. I have nothing against it, but sometimes I am a little jealous of my American counterparts who actually tend to have the block style sort of cream cheese, and we are just stuck with this mild thing that doesn't do it for me. So here's a trick that I like to use for my cream cheese. Anytime I have anything involving cream cheese, I add a little bit of fresh lemon. Now, this young lady is very young, and she is very safe also for the kind of flavor I would have settled for her. So because of that, I am going to be very cautious about what I can add here. We have obviously a squeeze of lemon in there, and I'm just going to go for a small teaspoonful of honey here. The honey will come through, and when, oh God, when I tried this, now as I'm talking here, I just realized I don't have my creme fraiche. Let me just dash out of screen and get that quickly. But if you just, did I say creme fraiche? No, sour cream. Well, actually, tell a lie. I actually wanted to use creme fraiche. I just checked and I didn't have any in stock. So I have opted for sour cream here. This cream topping is actually very adaptable. So you could do with either and it's fine. And all you have to do is whip them together. And for Mr. Hickins in the chat who raised the money for the homeless, I wasn't asking out of anything. I was just curious and genuinely interested. And yes, feeling for other people besides yourself, I guess it's a good deed. So thank you so much for sharing that. And I hope you derive fulfillment out of that. May the good that you do in the world find you. Okay? And thanks for sharing that. So I have had 2 large tablespoonfuls of sour cream in here. We have a whole tub of Philadelphia cheese. This is about how many grams? I can't see it. 165 gram pack. Take away 5 grams for the packaging and you have 160 grams of cream cheese here. And all I'm doing is mixing this together. Okay, now I should say creme fraiche and sour cream are not the same thing. In fact, I've just realized by tasting it, the creme fraiche is a little sour. It's a little more sour than creme fraiche, because initially when I derived the first batch, I used creme fraiche, which is mild, which is creamy, rich tasting with a smooth mouthfeel. Both creme fraiche and sour cream are cultured dairy products. The difference, however, is that creme fraiche tends to be very mild, and obviously the ingredient composition of creme fraiche sometimes doesn't allow for other ingredients that may help it set. So it's creamier, it's fresher, and it's milder and tastes much better. Whereas a significant difference between the creme fraiche and sour cream is that sour cream tends to be a little more tangy, if you like, and it's very tarty. So it's heavy. So tasting that right now, and obviously having added the lemon, I realized that it's a little more stronger than I would have loved it, but we'll correct that in a moment. So the goal is to kind of whip it together. The good thing about this is that it is so sweet. It is so easy to derive. I have a whisk. I mean, behind me here, I have 2 mixers, but as you can see, I am literally just mixing this together by hand, and it works. Right, so that is done. I'm gonna chill that. Well, before I finish that, let me put some vanilla in there. For those of you in the chat, welcome and thanks for being here. Right, it's great to have you and I sincerely appreciate you. But we're a baking channel and aiming to get things done very quickly. So it's good to see you chat amongst yourselves. Just keep the chat going whilst we get this done. It's a little more stronger than I would have liked it, but like I said, we'll correct that. So I'm going to put that to chill, and then we'll do the cream. I think for what it is worth, I am going to try and measure the cream. I didn't measure much of it yesterday because I just wanted to derive a quantity that would serve my needs. But for what it is worth, I am just going to go ahead and measure all of it. I have very thick double cream here. That doesn't go in first class. What am I doing? Right, I have double fresh cream. I opened the tap accidentally, so I didn't want it exposed, and I poured it in a... We have 230 mils of double cream. This is fresh double cream over here. And what I'm going to do here is just whisk this until it gets really thick. A good tip for doing this is to make sure that your fresh cream is very cold when it comes out of the fridge. If you're doing a bigger quantity, probably best thing is to make sure that all your utensils are cold as well, especially if you're working in a warmer climate. I mean, I'm in England, so I get the advantage of not having that problem. It requires a bit of handiwork, because when you use a skill, when you use a whisk, you have absolute control over the consistency and how it comes together. But if you don't fancy the handiwork here, you can use a stand mixer if you choose to. But the quantity here is so small, I am confident it's going to be all right using my hand. And the idea is just whisking this together until it comes together in a thick motion. And yeah, it's is it 2nd of January? So welcome to the new year. How are you all feeling already? Are you feeling confident about your hopes? How is it going for you? Well, I never left my kitchen in the first place, so I am just extending what I've been doing here back on here with you guys. Mix one here, 42 days. Mr. Hicken, okay, thank you for stopping by. Come back and join us sometime, and do consider liking our video or perhaps subscribing if you choose to. All right, may all the good you do find you, and continue to share your love of people and doing good for the homeless. Good luck. All right, and thank you again. Right, so if you're just joining here, we're just making a cream topping. This is a fresh cream topping. There we are. It is coming together, and as it is beginning to come together, it gets hard. I can tell you, my arms hurt already. That's because over here we cook, right? We're not a fitness channel. So I won't even lie. It's, oh God. Can I just... Now I'm regretting not using a... I'm regretting not using the stand mixer. But let's keep going. Right, we're getting there slightly. You want to be careful so that you don't over whisk your fresh cream and break it. Just be careful. But there we are. If you're just joining us here, hello, 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 hello. Gee, this is... Wow, that's harder than I thought. Right, so with that, it's coming together. So the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to add some sugar here, icing sugar. This is icing sugar or confectionery sugar or powdered sugar. You are better off sifting it. I think this will be about 32 grams. So you need about 50 to 60 grams, and that should be fine here. But like I said, when I derive the comprehensive video about it, I'll give you all the details. So mixing fresh cream is not child's play. It's, look at that, right? Now, the reason why I required 60 grams of sugar here is that our sour cream cream cheese base over there is a little bit tangy, and I'm looking to kind of even it out. So the idea is to raise the sweetness profile of this a little bit so that it can balance out the sour and tangy tartness of the base over there, which is what I have done. So whilst the double cream has been whipped to sort of this consistency, I'm going to add this is the extra thick double cream. Hello, Ruthie, my darling. How are you? Those of you in the chat, how are you all? Ruth? There you are. So I am still whisking this together. Those of you who work with fresh cream, how does that feel for you? Oh, this is harder than I thought. Now I'm regretting not using the oh, the cream is so nice. The work it requires over here is just like undefeated. Can you see I'm struggling? Okay, we are getting there. And the more it's getting thicker, the harder it is for me to mix. Oh God, look, we are nearly there, but it is just... Save me, people. Okay, right. Can I tell you what's going on in my head? I just want to lick this thing down, but I can't. Okay, like, right. Okay, now that we've gotten our cream consistency mix, you want to be extremely careful so that you don't end up splitting the cream. And this is the consistency we need. So we've got that lollipop. Lollipop, welcome. How are you, my darling? Happy New Year. Okay, well, now we have our sour cream base to come back, and essentially what we are trying to do is mix this carefully back into the cream mixture without splitting or breaking it. Okay, you want to be extremely careful. I mean, the sour cream and cream cheese base also over here provides a tad bit of stability for the cream cheese, because cream cheese, I say cream cheese, fresh cream doesn't tend to hold up properly at all and will cave under the weight of towering layers of cake. I must confess, I don't enjoy the use of fresh cream at all in baking in my baking business or anything, because there is a specific food safety guideline to adhere, which makes it extremely perishable and tricky to work with. That said, I think this particular sort of cream, cheese, fresh cream, sour cream, creme fraiche sort of frosting that has gone on the cake that I made before is just amazing. And I'll be doing you a disservice if I don't show you. Anyway, let's go back and see how my biggest recommendation. I used sour cream in this video. I will encourage you to substitute that with creme fraiche. Don't use sour cream. I think the sour cream is a little more sour and tart. It kind of takes away the smoothness of the mouthfeel. And for a 19-year-old who isn't so keen on flavors and textures, I don't think this does it justice at all for me. So I'm going to add some more sugar just to balance it out a little bit, the sweetness. And yeah, hopefully that should be okay. And I'm going to sift the sugar because I do not want to risk just putting the sugar directly and then it turns lumpy in the cream, because then that will mean I'll have to overmix it, and that might risk splitting the entire thing, and I don't fancy that at all. Okay, right, that done. Am I odd for adding a pinch of salt to my cream mixture? I've got the balance of taste that I like. This is better. It's not too sweet. Because it's very cold, there is a smooth mouthfeel to it. And it sort of disappears very quickly. It is giving a cold Italian buttercream. That is, if you've tried Italian buttercream. I like it. I am tempted to add a pinch of salt, but no. We'll leave that alone. If you're just joining me, what do I have here? It's a sour cream, cream cheese, fresh cream frosting. That is going to be used to top this cake right here. I am probably committed to the rustic theme, so I'm going to go get a... Bear with me, right? I am committed to the rustic theme, so I have brought that back, and you will see for a minute what I'm going to be doing with that. Now, the good thing about... Yeah, Lollipop loves cream cheese. Lollipop, I like cream cheese, but I find cream cheese tricky to work with, especially because the UK brand of cream cheese is just the Philadelphia that we have the misfortune of working with. It is nice. I'm not mad about it. It is nice, but it's very mild and it's too creamy and it almost doesn't have any taste. So the goal was to kind of take that cream cheese and sort of upgrade it slightly for this cake. And you will see this cake really doesn't require all the gadgets and things that I would normally use for decorating a cake, because we've done the cream already. So here's where what we'll do. I'll get myself a spoon, right? And we'll get the frosting back. And what I'm going to do is just put, and the whole point of this exercise here is to ensure that I have control over what I'm doing. Yep. Can you imagine if you set, well, I can imagine, because actually I made a similar cake, is it yesterday? The cake I baked here last, which was my my lemon cake, which was the last cake for 2024 that I created on a live. I decorated it I have just said on the start of the video that I will post that in the community post in a minute when I'm done, and you will get to see what that looks like. So essentially, this is the frosting, and if you really want to go for the rusticness of it, I'm just like using the spoon, and the frosting is set so solid and so smooth on it, it spreads easily. You can tell. And because I haven't layered the cake, because the intention is not to overwhelm this at all. I don't want to overwhelm the cake. I want to have just enough frosting on it, but this displays well at a sitting. And she herself is not doing anything. She's going out for a meal with her friends, and then she's going to come back and eat her cake. So it's like a home style dinner type rustic cake, where there is no fuss or drama about it, and all the stuff you need to do about decorating a cake is also eliminated. So it's kind of a 2-in-1 for me, really. I'm not mad about it. I'm actually excited to be making this cake. I can't open my jam. It's a sort of posh jam that was gifted to me, and I can't open it. So let's see. Lollipop, I've got you covered. Never you worry. Right, so this is what we're going for. The jam, it's, what have we got? We've got strawberry jam. It goes here. The whole point of this is not to do anything perfect, okay? The whole point of this is to just, yeah, there you are. I am, yep. I don't want any parts to have more than it needs. There you go. Right. And then the next thing here is I've got blueberries. Consider the blueberries more for garnishing. So I am going for 2, 3, and 2s. You'll see why in a minute. I wanted to get raspberries, but raspberries, if you don't get them fresh, sometimes they're a bit soft and they're bitter. So I just wanted to bring some sweetness and color contrast to the presentation here. Hence the blueberries. So that is just for garnishing. You can opt for your own different ones like strawberries. I didn't have time to buy strawberries and to chop them into pieces. Nah. So you know what? The good thing is that this is super adaptable and easy to make. So just follow what I'm doing here and do exactly the same. Now see what I'm going to do. When I tell you, this is very, very easy, believe me. This is short board meringue. Check what we're going to do with the meringue. Right? We don't need a lot of the meringue. We just need a little bit. And what I'm doing is I'm just dropping some meringue over here. I can make my own meringue, but sometimes you have to get your meringue right. Otherwise, you'll end up with the meringue sort of melting and retaining moisture and being awful. So this cake is essentially a mixture of textures, flavors, and really a nice tasting cake to eat. Now, this is what will go next. I am just having freeze-dried raspberries on it to color it over. Freeze-dried raspberries. So this is another layer of taste in there for you. And then over here, look at me shopping for mint. Can you imagine? Mint. The mints don't do anything except for garnishing, okay? They are just greens for garnishing. Mint. Okay? Can you see? It looks like a cheesecake, or if you kind of squint away from the cake that is underneath, you will think this is sort of a pavlova or something. I don't know. I just love how easy this cake was when I made the lemon version of it. It was so lovely. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Lollipop, good eye. I think you're right. It looks very much like an eating mess, but it's a raspberry cake, right? That aside, now this is the confusing part. I just had myself some crushed digestive biscuit, and then I used it, and the rest that is left, I've decided to tie it up. So if you see me untying something, it's just digestive biscuit. And all I'm going to do is get myself a spoon, get the crunchy parts, add them here in the corner, adding another layer of texture to the cake. And there you go. I think what's on the table is simply because I know I'm going to photograph it and I just want the effect of it. And essentially that's it. What is there to not love about this? Now, if I wasn't going to be giving this to my little niece over there, I probably will be cutting into this for you to see what this looks like. But unfortunately, this is actually a birthday cake. And I need to be nice enough to not be tempted to cut into it. But if you're watching, can you see how amazing this looks though? Right? Can we? I can't do any, I really can't do anything else. But can you see what an amazing cake that is? So easy to make. No fuss over here. If you wanted to layer this into 2 layers, the cream will be dripping on the side. I think I will add this to my selection of easy classic bakes, and then I'll come back and remake it with detailed information. Lollipop, I've got you covered. I will post the information on the community post. It's 6:15. I'm literally dashing off to go serve the cake to her, and then when I come back and I sit down within the next hour or 2, I'll update my community post, and then you get to see all the information you need over here. But otherwise, this is not the first cake for 2025. Actually, yesterday I got up and I made a cake. Believe me when I say I made a cake yesterday. 31st I baked a cake. Yesterday I decorated one. Today here we are. So this is technically our second cake for 2025. Our business of making cakes is not going to slow down at all. In fact, we're going to up the ante and we're going to be making more cakes. So if you're joining us here, hello there, welcome. It's great to have you. And do consider subscribing. Join the community here. We are positive. We support each other. Like the video just to tell YouTube that you joined us and you had a great bit of fun with us. But otherwise, if you're wondering what cake we have here, this is technically the second cake of 2025. A very simple rustic vanilla sponge cake here. The recipe is up on the channel in long form format and in live formats that I have created. So the details about it. And it is topped with a cream cheese, sour cream, fresh cream type of frosting. There's a bit of honey in there for a little bit of extra flavor. There's a touch of lemon juice to amp the taste and the tartness of the cream cheese, because we're using Philadelphia cheese that is very mild and not strong tasting in terms of the tartness that you can get from some cream cheeses. So we have a touch of lemon there. We have some icing sugar to balance the flavors and sort of settle things easily. We have a pinch of salt. This is an amazing cake. I know it's amazing because you know why? I made a lemon version, which was eaten yesterday. Okay, it was. I had a family gathering and we had a great time eating that cake. Amazing. So if you're just joining us, Thelma, I've been talking my head away, and clearly there are all of you in the chat trying to get my attention. So there is yeah, Lollipop, this looks very much like eating mess. I love the look of this, I really do, and I'm committed to the rustic theme, aren't I? So I came with a log cake stand, and there is who is in the chat? Lollipop. I don't have green hands. I don't have green fingers, and I think I'm too lazy to try that anyway. But if you grow them, you can send them my way, can't you? Be a good friend. Come on, share. Okay, All right, and Thelma, welcome, and Ruthie from New Zealand. Hi, darling. How are you? How are you, Ruth? Thanks for being here. Birthday girl. Is that Ruth, the birthday girl? Thelma, great to see you back, and I hope you had a good Christmas, right? Yeah, I was just checking to see if I have. Thelma. Ah, well, seems like all of you had a great Christmas. Well, I know Lollipop has been up to something more productive than most of us will dare to try. Oh, God. Well, I can't really say my new year has been slow. It hasn't. It's just that I have consciously made a decision not to be drawn into the minutia of having big grand goals, because you know what, the year will roll by and then you'll be looking up at yourself and thinking, what have I done? Okay. Yeah, Thelma, I had a great time. Christmas was exactly how I wanted it. I ended up being too tired, so much so that my closest and nearest, nobody even had a text from me to say Merry Christmas. Okay, nobody. It's not because they don't think I don't care. I do, actually, and they know. I think because they know, I felt comfortable not to be bothered. I'm just being honest, okay? But 2025, I'll be a good family member. And I'm gonna care about my people a lot. You okay? Yes. You know what, Lollipop, you're my kind of person. Exactly what I am aiming to do. Take it very slow, little by little, prodding along, okay? And before you see, you've achieved a lot. I think that's my goal for the new year. I'm not trying to, no. Because I think I kind of like mentally overwhelm myself quickly when I am so grand about things. But when I silently make promises to myself and I keep the pace, some days, I don't know. Let me tell you something. You know them people who are on the internet, right? And there's no particular person in mind. So cue in anybody you can imagine. You know those people who are like, productivity. I wake up and I do this and I do that and I do this and I do that. And you're like, they're like Energizer bunnies. That's not me, honey. When I wake up, my brain feels like an Energizer bunny, okay? It has so many ideas of things to achieve. And then I brush my teeth, drink a cup of tea, and I just want to sleep, okay? That's all I want to do, like literally sleep. So starting things and keeping up routines consistently is hard for me. So hard, in fact, the only thing that is consistent in my life is cake. That's all. I can master all the energy I have to start one thing, which is cake, and once I'm done, I'm out. Okay? Well, look, the boys in the house are literally screaming. Okay? Hiya, sir. Thank you, Lollipop. You know, I can't, like, people who are like, they have children, you see them 24/7, and on the internet they have all this content that is, and you're so jealous. Look, I have come to accept my journey. I'm like, no, I think, is it my estrogen or progesterone? It doesn't help me at all. Half of the time I'm editing a video and I'm cursing myself, like, why am I even doing this? Can I stop? But I also know that a 9 to 5 is not, no, you know, so you're gonna have to pick and choose your battles. And I just, now the goal I live by, Parkat, hello darling, it's been a little while. My goal these days is a task done which takes long. A task done slowly is better than not done at all, and I live by that principle. So some days I have, like, I'm talking 14-16 hour a day, okay? But that's like, give or take, twice in a month where I have that long day. of high functioning productivity. But for most part, I sit on the computer a little bit, maximum 2 hours. My brain is fried. I am constantly like going, where is the distraction to make me a little bit cheerful? And then these days, what I've learned to do is, instead of like distracting myself by scrolling on the phone constantly, what I do is I just literally go for my I kind of plan myself. So hopefully this is of some use and help to you, right? So for those of you who have low energy or have things to do and sometimes it's hard for you to start and keep the pace, this is what I do. I run my household as like a person of the house. I am so house proud. I love to do things at home, but I don't always have the same energy, and I have tasks that are of high priority, especially as a small business owner, between accounting and editing and ideation and all of these things. They are all high functioning tasks. And if those things have to run alongside my everyday, like looking after my son, school stuff, like besides his dad, we don't have any help. So it's just me around the business and everything, from ideation to content production, every part of it. And then there is also family life to consider. So for that reason, it's like, how are the women out here doing it? The truth is, you can never achieve exceptional goals in all things across board at the same time. You have to find balance, and balance looks like some days you are prioritizing one thing over another. So this is what my day looks like. On a day where I have a lot to do and yet I don't have the motivation, I focus on one high functioning task, which is my highest functioning thing today was edit a video. Not all of it. Split the video into 4 parts. So if it's a 9 minutes video, my aim is to edit at least 3 minutes. And to edit a 3 minutes video is probably 2 hours between maybe a long session of content, if you like. So I spend 2 hours, my brain is fried, I stop. Maybe I scroll on YouTube a little bit, check something that makes me happy for about 10 minutes. I'm done. And then the distraction is I come and do the washing up in the kitchen. Okay, like do the washing up or hoover the house or clean, do some sort of cleaning, because those tasks will still have to be done whether I am mindlessly scrolling or not, or whether I am doing this or not, right? So instead of just sitting mindlessly, I then have to distract myself doing the actual meaningful task. And sometimes in between the meaningful task, I'm doing the washing up, and then I have to make the call to, say, a customer, or, well, customer calls are normally very sessioned where I sit, but maybe that's the time where I'm washing up and then I have to call that family friend who's been trying to reach me and I'm unavailable because I haven't made time. So I am trying to utilize my time in a more productive way. And by the end of the day, when I look at my checklist and I realize I have done the hoovering, I have organized the lounge, in between editing, maybe a 6 minutes video for nearly 6 hours in the day, because I edit slowly. I'm not a professional, so it takes me longer than a professional would have. So by so doing, and also being able to update my posts, I'm like, I'm done. Let's start tomorrow. And I don't carry the excesses of today to tomorrow. When tomorrow comes, it's a fresh start mentally. I wake up and I say, start all over again. And when I'm too tired to start all over, I rejig myself and I take it slowly. That's what helps me. And I hope that is the attitude that will see me through 2025. Right? So, yeah, Thelma, I'm playing all the roles 24/7. It's hard. But so if you have a magic wand, give it to me, okay? If you have it. No, I didn't, Thelma. I didn't visit any native towns. Vivian, you know what? Vivian, hello, Vivian, darling. Welcome to the chat. Great to have you. I was actually thinking about you over Christmas. I was like, where is Viv? Hope you had a great Christmas. Happy New Year. Great to have you back. Did I tell you I wasn't going to be here for long? And look at me. I'm here mouthing my head off. Look, my people are noisy in the background. Ignore them, okay? The little guy is a little bit noisy. Vivian, it's been a little while. Great to have you, and I'm glad you had a great Christmas over there. But this is a cake, a very simple cake that I made. It is going to go to my little honorary niece who turns 19. This is her birthday cake, and I've got to go.